everyone, and welcome to CEP665, Exercise for Special Populations. This is just a brief video meant to give you a bit of an overview on what is expected of you for this first week of the semester. Hopefully by this point you have taken some time to look through the Start Here tab on Moodle, explored the syllabus a little bit, the course learning outcomes, and the overall expectations for how this course is going to be operated. Again, this video is meant to be just an overview of week one. I'm going to upload a video similar to this for each week just to give you some guidance on what is expected from you. It's probably only going to be a couple of minutes, but at least it gives you some direction on where we are going from this point. So our topic for week one is just a broad generic overview into an introduction to special populations. Primarily, we will be focusing on the first couple special populations within this field, and those are going to be those who suffer from obesity and diabetes in particular. So again, this video is going to be kind of a template for the following week, so we'll go over similar things for each week, but I just want to kind of outline what the learning goals are for this week. So first off, we're going to sort of explain the role of exercise in managing obesity and diabetes. These are two of the most rapidly growing clinical populations within the United States. So there's an increasing need to address some of these issues in a medical standpoint and from an exercise physiology standpoint, because as you've learned in your previous classes, we know that exercise is really effective at managing and sort of mitigating some of the symptoms that are associated with obesity and diabetes. Again, we're going to kind of give an overall broad generic overview of some of these basic pathophysiological states and concepts that we're going to encounter for the rest of the semester. So we'll talk a little bit about how diseases tend to develop and some of the misconceptions about exercise capabilities in these special populations. So again, the two populations we'll talk on this week are obesity and diabetes, but there will be a more broad overview as well for special populations as a whole. So each week I will give you a few readings to go over for the corresponding material for that week's topics. This week you have readings from a textbook, which is going to be associated with this class, that is Exercise Physiology and Special Populations, first edition. The two chapters that I want you guys to read for this week are Chapter 1, which is the broad introduction to special populations and exercise science. And then Chapter 2 is the more specific populations we're looking at this week, which are obesity and diabetes. Additionally, each week you will be giving some supplemental resources to go through as well. These are usually going to be some experimental studies or some review papers outlining some of the main findings of exercise studies within these special populations. So this week, the paper I want you guys to read has the prevalence of overweight, obesity, and central obesity leveled off in the United States. Trends, patterns, disparities, and future projections for the obesity epidemic. I think this is an excellent paper that gives a broad overview on some of these huge issues that we are facing in the US with, as you're going to see, increasing rates of those who suffer from obesity or who are overweight. We know that over the last 20, 30 years, there's been quite an explosion in the rate at which people are being diagnosed with these issues. That really is not slowing down at this point. So it's going to continue to grow and continue to be a more challenging issue that we're going to face from a medical standpoint. Additionally, each week you are going to have a few assignments. They're mostly going to follow the same pattern each week with a couple exceptions, and this week is one of those exceptions. Usually you'll have 3 assignments due each week. This week you have 4. But that additional one is just the first one of the week, which is a discussion post for Meet Your Peers. You have probably done this for most of your online classes in the past. This is just meant to give the instructor, me in that case, and your fellow students, classmates, just an idea of who you are, what your background is, and what you hope to get out of this course. The second assignment that is going to be due this week is going to be a knowledge check. This is just a short 10 to 15 question multiple choice true false quiz, very low point value associated with this assignment, just kind of gauging how you synthesize the material and how you understand the topic that we went over for each week. Again, low point value, and because it's a low point value for this course, you will be able to take this as many times as you want until you get all the questions right, just to help correct any mistakes you may have made and help you understand the material better. Both that Meet Your Peers discussion post and the knowledge check are going to be due on Wednesday of this week. The third assignment is going to be a forum post. So again, a more discussion-based post looking at pathophysiological changes in special populations. This post will be due on Wednesday, and this is just your primary post. In addition to this, you will have a secondary response that is going to be due on Saturday of this week. For this secondary response, you need to reply to at least one other individual in this class who posted in this discussion post. And you can use AI to help you form your response and evaluate the material that is included in that fellow classmate's discussion post. But this is just meant to fuel some discussion on the topics of this week, and specifically this topic for the discussion post, pathophysiological changes in special populations. There will be a couple topics that you will be required to hit on in the assignment. You will find those in the details and the instructions for the assignment. And then finally, you have a fourth assignment due this week, which is an introduction to personalized exercise plans for these special populations, specifically, again, diabetes and obesity. This is going to be due Sunday night, and really what this is requiring is that you give a rough overview of the pathophysiological impacts of obesity and diabetes. You'll design a 6 to 8 week exercise plan tailored for a hypothetical client within one of these conditions, and you'll have to justify the choices you make in designing this program. Why did you choose the exercise intensity that you chose? Why did you choose the exercise modality that you discussed in your plan, whether that's on a bike or a treadmill or outdoor walking, whatever it is you might have chosen, you need to give some justification to the choices you made. And then you'll have a final slide here on each of these videos, just kind of showing what is going to be coming up in the coming weeks. So we have gotten to the end of week 1 now. We transition into week 2. The week 2 topic is going to be cardiovascular health management. And you can see the schedule I have on here already for the rest of the semester. And you'll see as we progress each week, we'll eliminate the material from the previous week. And this will be sort of a countdown for you to see how much material you have left to go over in this class. I think that about wraps things up for this overview. Again, this is just meant to be a short direction-based video to give you some guidance for this week. The videos for the following weeks will probably be a lot shorter now that I've explained what this video is meant to do. If you have any questions, please feel free to email your instructor and they will respond to you as soon as they are able to. Have a good week.